I'm making a template here that I'm going to use to trace. And then this will be the size of my slab. And I'm going to wrap that around the rolling pin and it'll overlap, and that's where I will adhere the one side to the other. And I'm going to put a piece of newspaper on the rolling pin so I can slide it off. For now, I'm just going to trace this. Put that right up to the edge there. So that's my rough dimensions. Now this isn't carpentry, so I don't have to have everything be square, but I like it to be that way, so if I have an opportunity to make stuff straight, I do. Stuff out of the way. And you could take your time when you're doing this. I'm moving fast because I don't want you to get bored, and also I don't want the video to be too long. So you don't have to rush when you're doing your thing. So this is going to wrap around here, and that's to keep the clay from sticking to the rolling pin, and then I'll be able to slide it off. Otherwise, if I were to wrap the clay thing around here, it would stick to the rolling pin. I wouldn't be able to get it off. So I'm going to address the edge that goes up to your mouth right now, because it's difficult to do it afterwards. So I want to soften this edge, because that'll be the side that I drink out of. And it's kind of awkward to try to get that top edge neat after you've built the cylinder. A lot of this stuff you have to go back and readdress it just a little bit, but I'm going to get a little bit of it done now and see what it looks like when I stand it up.
What is that liquid that you use?
This is slurry from when the students are doing the throwing. Their bucket fills up with mud, and then we dump that in those two big trash cans, and then you'll use it as sort of the glue to keep things stick together. We call it slip or slurry. And the process is slipping and scoring. When you put the slip on and score it up, it sticks together. So I'm going to scribble on here. This is the scoring part. And the plan is to rough this up and then get it gooey with the slurry. And then the two pieces of clay then sort of knit together. Otherwise, if you just put it on there, when the clay shrinks, the pieces come apart. So a lot of your efforts will be trying to make things stick together. Keep pieces and the handle and sticks and all the different parts of whatever you're making. Because the clay shrinks, and there's tension when it shrinks, and that's when cracks show up. And the cracks usually show up where there's joints. So I think that's good. And then And Leo's will show you this again, and I think it'll help. A lot of teaching and learning involves repetition. So if you see it again, I think it'll help a lot. And then you can watch a video of this if you want. I'm curious to see how I sound on that video. In my head, it sounds very nasal right now. All right, so I'm gonna wrap that around, trying to have it on there straight, see if it lines up. Not quite. There we go. And then I'm just gonna use the weight of my hands pretty much, or my arms, just to squish that a little bit. I don't want to smash it. I just squashed it just a little bit. And then because it's on this piece of paper, it slides off. Otherwise, this glue and stuff would make it so it wouldn't come off of the drawing thing. So then I grab the inside part, kind of wind it up. And now I have that like that. Let's see what I have here. I'm just gonna, for the sake of speed, I'm gonna go right ahead and use this piece. Again, I'll scribble. There's nice tools that are scoring tools that are like maybe 4 or 5 of these pins together, and then you can just kind of drag it around. Makes it go quickly. The students will have to be a little bit careful with the scoring. It's better to be aggressive than to be gentle with scoring. You really want to get the slurry to get down in those grooves. And this would be nice to have a scoring tool for this part. And then I'm going to paint this edge, or you know, maybe I'll do the bottom instead of this. So I am teaching you here how to make a mug, but the real lesson is how to work with a soft slab. So, you know, if you learn the technique, then you can apply it to all kinds of different things that you're making, not specifically a cylinder, but just learning how to manipulate a soft slab and attach it to other pieces. That's the important part of the lesson, and then we'll end up with a mug as a byproduct of the lesson. This is a little tricky because it's soft, but you want to be kind of aggressive about getting that to stick. The other thing you can do, if you're able, is to pick it up and gently tap the bottom. And then I clean this up later. I'm going to cut around kind of a rough circle there, and then when this dries and I'm more certain that it's stuck on there, I can clean that up. I mean, a thing you can do with this, which is kind of fun, is that now it's soft. We can kind of take advantage of that and maybe just make it look like it's soft. And then when it's stiff or hard, it's kind of an optical illusion. It'll look like it's soft, but it's not. Ooh, that's stuck down on there. I'll have to get that off later. I'm gonna pull the handle. I'm not gonna teach you how to do that till a little later, but it's the best option right now. So go quickly. We're wasting film. All right, so I roll this carrot shape, and so it's tapered a little bit, and I get a little bit flat. So it's on the way to becoming a handle, and then I'm gonna get this wet, and it's called pulling a handle, but I'm not really pulling it. I'm just getting it saturated, and it starts to stretch. If you pull it, it comes apart. But this is unfortunately a difficult thing to learn, so we'll wait a little bit. We'll make some handles by squashing it in some fabric. It seems to work really nicely. So I'm gonna bend that like that, and then put that on at the end of class, I think. All right, that's that. Cut.